So I gotta be honest with you guys, right? 9 out of 10 realtors I talk to aren't getting results with their online marketing. And they'll say things along the line of, Facebook lead sucks or no one's picking up my phone. But the truth is not the ads or it's not the algorithm, but rather it's you, right? And if that makes you uncomfortable or not something that you actually wanted to hear, you know, I'm sorry, but like that's the truth, right? Because in the next few minutes, I'm gonna show you why this keeps happening, right? What is this cycle that I just see with agents and how to actually fix it for 2026, right? And how to fix it for whatever season that you're coming into, for the spring, summer, the fall market. Because if you just keep following these steps consistently, I guarantee you're gonna get results, and I guarantee you won't fail, right? In real estate, because tends to be the problem why agents keep failing and keep having inconsistent closings, keep not hitting their goals. Because I've talked to so many agents, and whenever I ask them, what are you currently doing and where do you want to go in the next 6 to 12 months, they always say double the amount of what they're currently doing, but they never achieve it, right? And if I go call back the same agent, 12 months from now, they're still going to say, oh, I'm still at this amount, I still want to double the same amount. Nothing has changed. And every week, I've talked to agents who spend thousands on ads, right? And when I ask them, so what happened after the lead came in, it's usually silence, right? They'll usually say, I called them a few times, I sent them one text, but then they ghosted me, right? And right there, that's the moment most agents lose the game, right? It's because your problem isn't the ad. Your problem isn't what happens after they click, right? I've seen this scenario play out multiple times that I actually did a little experiment with two agents, right? So I've seen two agents, we made them run the exact same campaign and the same targeting, same copy, same form. And I told agent A, do your normal thing, right? What you would do normally. And then I told agent B to follow exactly the step that I'm about to show you to the T. And do you guys want to guess what the results was? Agent A booked 0 appointments in that week, and we would run this for 1 week. And agent B booked 6 appointments that week, right? Almost one a day. And the reason why you have to end up following up like this is because the internet is noisy, right? People fill out 10 forms a week and forget half of them, right? We in our own business, we've seen that, right? Agents, when we sometimes call them through our ads, they're like, who is this? I don't remember what form I filled. And it's totally understandable. And that's why you want to call them right away, right? That's the whole reason why. Because the people that tend to say, even in our own business, that tend to say, I don't remember, is you guys, is probably the people that, we called them or they picked up 5 hours ago, right? They picked up, maybe 2 days later after they got opted in, right? And that's usually what we see with our own ads. And that's why we usually tell our realtors that are in our community, call them right away. And if you don't build a follow-up system that keeps your name in front of them, you're just donating your ads to another agent who will, right? Agent A just donated all his ad spend to agent B. Another thing that I usually seen is the agents who win the follow-up game usually calls and texts back and emails until they get a clear yes or no, until the prospect tells me, yes, I'm going to work with you, or no, I don't want to work with you, right? And the ones who actually lose the follow game tend to stop when they feel uncomfortable, or they feel like, oh, I'm annoying this person, or XYZ. And they usually just fail the follow-up game, and they tend to be the ones that don't see results from online ads, because that's just the reality of it, right? You have to play the game, right? You can't just be like, oh, but I don't want to do this because I want to be, different. It doesn't work, right? You only have one path to being successful in online marketing, and if you can't follow that step, you won't be. And that's when you're going to say Facebook lead sucks, online marketing doesn't work and all of that, because it works for so many people. And I want to actually, if Ryan Serhant actually said this in one of his videos, and I love the way he said it. His secret to success is that he will follow up with people until they're dead, right? He will not stop following up, right? He will follow up with them until they're dead. And that is a philosophy that even I took, right? And I tell my team, right? You're going to follow up with people until, they tell you no, right? They tell you a clear no, right? Because until then, your mindset has to be, they haven't told me a no. I can still work with them. So let's make it tactical here. I want to give you good information here. So I'm going to show you the 24-hour follow-up rule that every agent should use, that I make our agents in our community follow it, and technically what I make our setters for our agents. So every agent that works in our community has their own setters, or like an assistant that follows up with all their leads, does this follow-up 24-hour follow-up rule to the T, and books multiple appointments for our agents, right? Because then, if they're busy, they don't have to worry about that, right? They can consistently get results from their online ads, and they win, basically. So, but if you don't have that, here's what you can do, right? So one, call within 5 minutes, right? The longer you wait, the colder it gets, right? You have to call them within 5 minutes of the lead, right? So if you are an agent, you can have notifications set up on your CRM, right? Or that sends you a message. Call them within 5 minutes, right? Or have someone call the lead within 5 minutes. If they don't pick up, the second step, text them, right? And usually what you want to do is you want to align with whatever you said in the ad, right? The reason why they opted in. So like if it's a home valuation ad, or if it's a downsizing ad, or if it's a buying your first house, whatever it be, right? You want to align with that. So you want to say their name, and then I just saw that you were looking for XYZ, or to solve your XYZ problem. Are you free to have a quick call today or tomorrow, right? And also I recommend you putting your name in there as well. So it's like, hey, John, this is Mike, or this is Nathan, and I saw that you were looking for, I don't know, a home valuation request. Are you free for a quick call today or tomorrow? And the reason why I said put your name into it is for the third step, which is call again within 3 hours of the lead coming in. Because you don't want to assume they're not interested. People are busy, right? When you call them within 5 minutes, they probably had something else to do, or they were quickly putting the information to look at it later, whatever it be, right? So call again within 3 hours. And the reason I told you to put your name is because usually when you call them again, it won't pop up as just a random number. With new phones today, what they usually do is they usually kind of put maybe Mike or maybe Nathan when you call them. And the reason why they do that is the phones can detect your text, and they probably saw that you said, oh, this is Nathan, this is Mike on the text. So they think that the person that's calling is probably Mike. So when you call them, at the top, it's going to say maybe Mike. And people or prospects are more likely to be like, oh, who's Mike? Let me see what it is, and actually pick up the phone. So that's a little tactic that we even use in our own business, that we tell our agents to do as well. And we tell our setters that work for the agents to do as well, because they're more likely to just pick up that phone. And the last step to the 24-hour follow-up rule is to follow up again the next day. And then after that, follow up every other day for a week straight. You do not miss a beat, right? You're not being pushy, you're just being professional, right? They opted in and you're here to help them, right? If someone says, oh, stop calling me, well, that's it, right? You're never going to see that person ever again, right? You've never seen that person again. You're never going to just talk to them, and you just move to D&D, or you move it out the pipeline, and that's it. But you're doing your job, right? And if you want to automate it, like I said, you can set up workflow that does it for you. You can do text, call, voicemail drops, all in like an automation. And if you follow the system, I guarantee you that you will triple your conversions without touching your ad budget once, right? Just from the current ad budget that you have. And if you want to automate it, set up a workflow, right, that does kind of almost everything for you. For example, text and calls and voicemail drops. It does all of that for you, right? And if you don't have a CRM, you can use a CRM that of your choice. You can actually also use our CRM that we use. I'll put a link in the description for you guys if you guys want to, and you can just set up the workflows and everything there, and it's been really nice. Is actually what our agents use as well, because it's really good for what you guys do. And I understand, right? Because for a lot of agents, it's not possible sometimes to call within 5 minutes, because they probably in a showing, they're talking to a buyer, they're talking to seller, they might be outside driving around to meet with clients and all that, and it gets really hectic, right? So usually what you want to do is actually leverage this as well, right? Because you got to think about your job as a business, right? You are the product and you're running a business around it. Okay, so you are the offer technically, right? And what a lot of agents in our program does is they actually set up everything in a business standpoint. They have a marketing, they have um a sales and a back and all of that. And the reason is because first of all, it gives you more clarity, and people tend to think, oh, if I do all of this, am I going to get enough closing? You are going to get more closings, right? Because you can just focus on one thing and everything around you is working around. Think about me. I run a business. Think about if I had to do everything in my business. I had to do the setting, I had to do the sales, I had to do the back end, I had to do the product fulfillment. I will go crazy, right? I will be spending 14 hours a day working. And I know a lot of agents that came to us before implementing our system, that used to work 14 hours a day or 12 hours a day, just going crazy, and didn't have time to spend with their family properly and all of that. And they came to us, and we solved that for them, because we saw that was the biggest constraint that they had. So that's why if you follow this, you can, so there's two options for you. Is like, you can do this by yourself and follow the 4 steps that I told you, and again, make sure to follow that to a T. And the second option is, if you really want, like, you can actually book in a call with our marketing advisor, and we can try and help you. We can see, if what we do will help you down the long run. And if, let's say, if this is not a fit, I'm going to tell you it's not a fit, because we don't want agents to come in and have a bad experience. One, right? We want all of our agents to succeed, and second, we can actually then just guide you towards the right step, right? And if you have like a different problem, then we'll guide you towards that solution, right? Because we don't want to offer something that we're not going to be. So if you do want to hop on a meeting with one of our marketing advisor, they'll totally help you with your situation. So they'll usually ask you what your situation is, how things are going, where's the bottleneck, and then give you a solution. And if the solution makes sense, then great, we would absolutely love to help you. And if the solution doesn't make sense, then we'll guide you towards something that actually makes sense for you and actually doable, right? Because again, we want you guys to succeed. Other than that, guys, if you'd like what I've shared with you today, and you think it gave you some value, please leave a like and please subscribe as well. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I know it's not a lot, but it's a lot for me, and I genuinely appreciate it, right? Because I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel and give you as much value as possible, as much as I can to you guys, and just giving back to the community, right, for real estate agents. And another thing also is, if you want like a doc version of this, whatever I told you today, and so you can actually like read through it and actually implement it, and we'll actually be a little more detailed in that doc as well, just kind of going a little more in depth, then you can also download that. So basically, it's also going to be a link in the description. Other than that, if you've come this far in the video, I totally appreciate you guys. And other than that, I'll see you on the next video. Till then, I'll see you on the other side.